Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out The Binding of Isaac Rebirth by Nicholas Games and Edmund McMillan. You knew it was coming eventually. This episode had to happen one way or the other. It's a game that I've been personally following for a very long time and I know a lot of you have as well. And it's actually a little bit of a conundrum for me. How do I talk about this game? Do I address it in terms of the people who are going to maybe be exposed to Isaac for the first time now? Do I address it in terms of the people who have been following Isaac since the day it came out originally? Hard to say, but I'm going to try and do a little bit of both while I go over some of the pros and cons, albeit there are very few cons in my opinion, of The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and we'll kind of play through probably just one round, if not even just half of a round, depending on how it goes. We'll see. So, if you're not familiar at all, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth is a roguelike twin-stick shooter with some action RPG elements, and I know, well, some people prefer the term roguelike, some people hate that term. What I mean when I invoke that concept is it's got randomly generated pretty much everything. The levels are going to be different every time you play it. It's going to be whole different experiences, tons of items to unlock, and just all kinds of crazy, ghastly abominations to discover and destroy. This game is obviously, if you're, well, not familiar, I guess maybe less obviously, but if you are just coming into this game is definitely a bit on the graphic side, definitely M-rated. It's got a lot of gross stuff in it, but, you know, if that doesn't bother you, and, you know, personally doesn't really bother me, there's even more to revel in this time around, and as it pertains to the original game, there's, I think, 110 new items over the however many, like 200-something that there were prior, a whole bunch of new bosses, new room layouts, new graphics engine, new engine in general. It's not based on Flash anymore, which is kind of a huge thing, new soundtrack, new characters, did I say new enemies? Everything in this game has been expanded upon in a positive direction. So I'm going to hit start, and we'll see the first thing here is that we actually have 3 save slots that we can choose from, which is kind of a neat thing in and of itself. So I'm going to go with File 2 just so I don't spoil the stuff that I've shown already. I'm going to try and keep the spoilers to a reasonable minimum, but at the same time, there's going to be a few of them just because it's literally unavoidable to show the game without spoiling something. Plus, it's random, so I don't know what I'm going to run into anyway. So let's show off the options menu first before we get into a run. We're going to go and look at this. So we got sound effects and music have their own individual sliders. I always appreciate that. Map opacity, the map's going to be in the top right corner. You can set that to be as transparent or opaque as you prefer personally. Full screen, on or off. To be honest, there's not a lot of graphical options in terms of resolution or anything. In fact, there really aren't any. It's just full screen on or off. This is the launch version of the game 1.0. There might be some updates, maybe some changes that'll happen in terms of that stuff. And then we've also got a graphical filter, which I believe just adds sort of like a Super Eagle style, just generally smoothing effect around all the hard edges. I kind of prefer the grittier off filter just because just seems more natural. The game generally tries to go for a SNES kind of 16-bit aesthetic, and I find if you add that filter on top, it kind of looks a little bit blurry or smudgy, which some people prefer. It looks cleaner, I guess, but I don't really mind the hard edges anyway. And we've got gamma. Of course, I happen to set that a little higher than normal. I think it actually could use a little bit more brightness. There's times where it's a little too dark, there's times where it's a little too bright. 115 seems good to me. Isaac intrinsically has a little bit of a lighting effect around him anyway, and we'll talk about all that stuff when we look at the engine anyway in a second. But yeah, a little bit up on the gamma for me personally. And pop-ups, I believe that's just telling you when you get new item unlocks or various new things that happen on one of your runs. So that's the options menu. We've also got stats. It tracks all kinds of stuff in here. Items, endings, secrets. There shouldn't be literally anything, but I'm actually scrolling through the several pages here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 full pages of items to unlock and explore and find. So it's quite a journey that's ahead of us here with The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and I think there's several months worth of play in this game. So even though I've played 13 hours of this, which is another thing, I did a marathon stream of this the other day, even though I have that impression as well as a little bit of time that I spent with Tyrone Rodriguez, one of the developers at PAX Prime, like, I know some stuff about this game, but there's still plenty of things I don't know, and that's, I think, one of the strongest suits of the game, is all of the stuff that you'll discover as you play through it it's a little bit not quite defined yet at this point, and it's fun, it's mysterious, and I love the mystery to it all. And then we've got all these challenges here. You'll notice there's more challenges than there were last time, and many of them are actually locked. I really love number 12, how the arrow has to move over to the side there. And if you want a really good overpowered run to start yourself off on when you pick up The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, check out Computer Savvy. I think you'll have a fun time with that one. I won't spoil what it is, but it's a good overpowered run. So let's do a new run. I have a few options here. Many of these, if not all of them, are locked as of the start of the game. That's okay. I'm not going to play as any of them anyway. You'll also notice we can press tab to input a seed. If you do a seeded run, which basically means all of the stuff that happens, the randomized elements, are actually going to be consistent with that seed for every time you play it. So if you run into a level that you particularly like, you can actually write down the seed and go back and play that level again, try and do better with it. Thing is, though, you can't get achievements or item unlocks or anything when you do seeded runs, so, you know, that kind of varies a little bit in terms of your experience. It's mostly just so you can't cheese the game to try and get all the unlocks right away. The other thing is there's normal and hard mode, with a little pinnacle there next to it. The hard mode, I'm not exactly sure what it does just yet. I believe it gives you curses much more often, so you might have Curse of the Labyrinth or like Curse of Darkness where you can't see the map or something like that. There's a bunch of different things that could happen, but I think beyond that there might even be some items that are only unlockable via hard mode. Again, it's very early in this game's existence, so I might be mistaken on that, and my apologies if I give you any bad information. Even though I played 13 hours of this, like, there's still some basic concepts that are not entirely down and figured out. So we'll start up a run here. Lost. We're lost. And this is our first run on this file. So, as you can see, some pretty familiar looking things, and a very classy introduction, by the way. I really love that transition from the title screen over to this. We've got our whole new engine here. You'll notice little details like as I move around, there's just a little bit of light that follows Isaac around. In this particular floor, it's not all that noticeable, but in darker areas, you'll see that it's much more of a radiant light. You also see there's some kind of a little bug or something flying around, some little particle effects, and also the fact that this game is running in a very smooth and consistent 60 frames per second, and doesn't tend to dip very often either. So that's a big improvement. The other thing is, I mentioned I'm using my controller right now. I know you probably want to get right into things, and there's my seed, by the way, TFLR-L6VJ, if you want to play this one yourself, in case it happens to be particularly good. Yeah, I'm playing with the controller. I've always played with the controller, and I know you wanted to see what was in this room. I just find that it actually works better this way. The controls didn't take much of any time for me to get used to. The only thing is I don't think I can access all the controls necessarily from the controller. I might or might not be wrong about that. We'll see. I still have to play with some stuff and figure out if maybe there's some buttons that are just not always in effect. So we've got Cricket's Head. That is a straight damage up, and that is a new item, so I'm very happy to see that. You'll also notice this level, or this room in particular, has some kind of dynamic shadows going on, which look really pretty, and some lighting effects, some light rays coming in from the top. I believe the lighting effects might be randomly generated on top of the floor, so there's actually like random girders that'll happen above and cast light rays down in different patterns. This is the curse room below. I'll probably go into that in a minute because they seem like they're pretty useful, and we'll actually fight some freaking enemies here. This is what I meant when I said there's like some girders or wood planks above us. Oh, now we're definitely going in the curse room. There's a free heart there. So you can see there's like a shadow here, this line across the floor, and then there's a shadow over here on the left. Yeah, so those are kind of, I think, shadows that can show up in different ways. Also blood stains and stuff everywhere. Also, you might notice, if we see any of them, or you might not notice even, that the tinted rocks have a bit of a different look to them. Well, as with everything has a bit of a different look to it, just based on the fact there's an entirely new graphics engine. Okay, we got a couple of pills. Pills can also come in this 45-degree angle, or like the straight-on visual. I'm not really sure if there's any difference to them, but maybe it lets them have like two versions of an orange pill, if one's oriented sideways and one's oriented vertically. That's telepills are literally the first thing we get. Teleports us to a room with a brand new heart configuration. Sucks a little bit though, because I have to go back to the curse room now, and I'm gonna have to take another damage to get in, unless this drops me off in the curse room somehow. But this is, I believe, the super secret room, and if you're wondering what the black heart does, well, I guess I could probably spoil that for you. Oh, here's a new enemy. This guy will charge me all the time. I'll try and keep my tangents to a reasonable minimum also. But yeah, the way that this is all gonna work, so like, the black hearts, they have a special effect to them. After you deplete an entire black heart, you'll notice that it'll actually do something very useful, which has to do with damage a little bit. And there's, you know, generally, the hearts, the way they go, there's going to be the red hearts, the blue hearts, or spirit hearts, as most people seem to call them nowadays, the black hearts, as well as eternal hearts. And you can also get these half hearts, or you can get a double heart now. The half heart was a thing before, of course, but Now we can actually get 2 hearts sewn together, which can be useful or not, depending on the situation. Sometimes it actually be a bit detrimental. I'm going to go back in here, get the other pill. That used up my black heart. You don't get to see the effect, though, because the way that that all worked, it was not able to be shown. Okay, so we're going to use our other pill. Balls of Steel! Alright, so that actually worked out just fine. I ended up going back through and ended up with even more hearts than I have, although I lost the black heart. So that's our shop on the right. I have a key, but I have 1 penny. I'm not going to bother with that. And I only have 1 bomb, so I'm, as tempted as I am to look for the secret room, I have a feeling it's probably right here. Yeah, you know what, let's just do it. YOLO! What do we have? Yeah, we do have a secret room there. And we've got a bunch of money, so that actually was a pretty good call. One bomb for, like, 10 cents, I think, is a good move to make. You also notice some really, like, fine, subtle details there, like those fires had a little bit more going on in terms of lighting. There's some fireflies here, which have a little bit of a radiant thing to them. The whole game just feels really elegant, and when you add on the soundtrack, not that the other one wasn't elegant, it actually really fit very well, but I find that the soundtrack for this one actually makes the game feel even more, a little bit elevated in a weird way. A bit less cartoony, a little bit more classic, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's a difficult thing to describe, and I'm sure my feelings in terms of like the aesthetic reception of the game might change over time, but for now I feel like it's a really positive improvement in just about every possible way. In terms of negatives, I'm trying to think what I even had. There's some minor stuff, but stuff that most people probably wouldn't even get involved with. I've seen a couple of crashes, I've seen some frame rate stutters that happened, which might have been a result of one person's individual rig. We were streaming, I was streaming with Alpaca Patrol last night, and his computer was having some trouble after a while, and I was wondering if it was a memory leak. It might not have been, it might just been a fluke with his computer, but I'm not 100% sure, so I probably shouldn't even commit that to video. Another thing is I've had some issues with the mic crackling. There was a way to fix it, but I had to go into an INI file and change a setting. Seemed to be the same situation that I had with 1001 Spikes, another Nicholas game, so I don't know, maybe there's some kind of thing that they do with their engines that sort of messes with my particular mic. I have a blue Nessie, in case you're wondering, but once I changed that setting, it seemed like we're okay again, so I guess I can't really be too upset. So we've got a new type of room down here. This takes 2 keys to open and has a very high chance of having some very good stuff, but of course, I'm going to go in my item room. Hopefully, oh, this is a new item, I haven't even seen this guy yet. Dry Baby Immortal Friend. I wonder if this is some sort of like a power-up that gives me a 1-up or something like that. I love the fact that I can speculate about items again. That's such a fun part of the whole thing. And it's gonna be, and I feel like I'm cynical for saying this a little bit, but it's gonna be a fall from grace for me once everybody gets really into, chances of, manipulating the game to their most possible min-maxed effects and all of that stuff. I know it's an inevitability, and it's already happening. I've seen it happen in a couple of streams, like, in the first day. But, it's entirely expected that that's going to go down. For me, though, I want to get good at this game, and I'm probably going to be playing an absolute ton of it. Very much the case that I'm probably going to have a lot of these things on my channel, whether that be on Twitch or whether that be on YouTube, probably both. Oh, I found some petrified poop. It feels lucky. That actually increases chances of finding items in poop, so I wish I had that before. Oh well. But yeah, I do want to get better, learn all the stuff I can about this game. But in the beginning of its existence, I want to not worry too much about knowing every possible thing and just let the exploration happen in a general sense. So if you hit select, by the way, on the 360 controller, you can actually look. There's our time, there's our map. You can also hold down select, and that'll show us that we're on the basement too. There's also a way, I think if I hold... Hang on, I forgot what button it is. There's a... What is it? Right trigger? So, yep, right trigger. If you hold right trigger down for a long time, that actually will let you drop a trinket. Obviously, it doesn't work on the tick if you know its effect, because it latches onto you. But you can use that to also alternate, because it actually effects that you can get that'll let you have multiple cards or trinkets or pills or various things like that. So if that comes to be, then that's your toggle button, I suppose. That would be right trigger. And then the default setting puts left trigger as our spacebar item. Left bumper is going to be bombs. And right bumper is going to be your pills or your cards or whatever you have as your other use item. So, it's a pretty good control scheme. It actually works just fine. I can also use the buttons as far as the face buttons for, A, B, X, Y, or I can use the control stick. Whatever feels better. I find they both work equally well. Oh man, we've got unlocks happening, and we got a freaking pentagram. This is actually a pretty OP run that's going on right now. I'm going to feel kind of sad if I don't actually take this to fruition. Maybe I should just play on a little bit. So we've got a devil room, and we should make the clock go away, because I don't actually need to look at that right now. I want to use some of this stuff. We've got a guppy item, and this is like, I think it's like the beheaded baby or something. It actually lets me have a creep that follows my character around. Guppy's Paw, as you might remember, lets me sacrifice red hearts to give me spirit hearts. Oh, one big change that you should know about if you're considering buying this. I don't know if this will, hopefully wouldn't actually dissuade anybody from buying this, but there is actually a health cap now. It stops at 12 hearts, so 2 full rows of hearts, and that's as much as you can get. That's one of the biggest changes that I'm aware of with Isaac. There's also a bunch of just like minimal stuff that has changed in terms of progression, but mostly all positive. You know, I want to take this, but I can't justify giving up another heart, honestly. Let's go down a floor. Another thing that's kind of a big deal, and you could think of this as a spoiler, but I think it's kind of a good thing. In the arcade, there's actually a donation machine now that when you spend coins on it, it will actually add up over multiple runs. So the idea being that you can actually upgrade your shops and eventually get better and better items by continually giving money to it. I think my other save has like 150 or so coins on it, and I've gotten to level 2. So there's that. Very cool, kind of a rogue legacy style improvement, where the more you play, the more you'll have the ability to improve. So one of the very few instances where things will just sort of be given to you in a weird way. Ah, that troll bomb can get out of here. I've noticed there are a lot more troll bombs in this game than in the prior version of the game, and at least that's my observation. Maybe it's just me that's having some bad luck. You'll also notice, of course, we're in a big old room right now. There's actually a variety of different rooms, whether they be like 4x4 style, or is it 2x2 rather. Then you've got the 1x2 or the 2x1 that are sort of just long, sort of rectangular style rooms. All of those I find are actually pretty sweet. They can have some different stuff going on and breaks up the monotony of just running into the same few templates. And you'll also notice some new stuff that you can break. We've got mushrooms here. These have a chance of dropping pills or possibly even magic mushrooms. We've got the usual spider webs and stuff. There's also some skulls and some sort of Zelda-like blocks that you can run into. And I'm going to go in the curse room here. Oh, another guppy item. Now I wish I took the other thing. Oh well, too late. Guppy's tail. There's also, I think, a total of 5 guppy items now, so you have a pretty high chance of becoming guppy if you search through a lot of these extra areas, which, you know, I tend to try to do. I like to play reasonably meticulously, and this is like a really solid run. This is actually a great seed. So if you guys are just picking up Rebirth and you want to have a good first run just to get like acclimated to the way the game feels, I think you could probably just punch this seed in and have a good time. And in case you're curious again what it is, there you go. Pause the video if you need. So we'll just murder some silkworms here, or some maggots. There's also more evolutions to a lot of the monsters that you might notice. I don't know if we'll see all of them necessarily, but like the turrets that you know generally tend to sit there, the little skulls on the ground, they'll pop up and shoot at you. There's a version now of that enemy that'll actually walk around. He can be a real pain in the butt. But you know, there's a lot of new enemies, honestly, and I haven't even seen all of them, as well as all the new bosses. Oh, we've got a trinket over there that I'd kind of like to go get, because it actually does a tremendous thing with my shot speed. Oh, what was that? Where was that creep? Was that just creep that was left over that I didn't even notice? Well, this is going to cost me 2 bombs to make a rock bridge across, but I think it's probably going to be worth doing, because I want to get this. Hopefully it won't break my rock bridge. Okay, we're good. So we got Whipworm. That'll replace my petrified poop, but you can see now that my shots are actually moving with a lot of velocity, and might be slightly faster too. I'm not 100% sure on that. But let's go keep going around. We've got our item room coming up here, and I do have a key. Yeah, it was totally creep. That was just left over that I didn't pay attention to. It is a little bit unfortunate at times where you can actually get kind of stuck not noticing your creep versus the enemy's creep when you have this guy following you around. PhD, always a good thing. Did you see the colored lighting on that? You can tell it's subtly different from one torch to the next. Better pills, always positive. I think Kane used to have always good pills, right? I don't think he has that anymore. So that's still a good thing you want to find. What was his item? The Luckfoot, I think, gave you the better pills. So that is, you know, an augmented, changed item. I want to spend some bombs and blow up these mushrooms, but I think it's a bad idea at this point. But I really am enjoying the new enemies, the new players as well, the new characters. I don't want to spoil all of them, but there's one that's kind of OP right out of the gate, which is fun to have. I I guess I could say he's a flying character with brimstone, but with really short range, so... Oh, Necronomicon. Who used that? Was that me? I don't know. There's also kind of remixed and twisted changes to some of the items that are stuff you might be used to, or some of the bosses you might be used to are a little bit more interesting now, and I think that was a really positive thing. I think a lot of the places where I feel like the game was a little lackluster in Vanilla or Wrath of the Lamb Isaac are actually much improved now. A lot of the things that you might have felt are a little monotonous, don't require quite as much frustration, or, you know, the game is generally quite hard, honestly. The game might actually be substantially harder than Isaac was prior, but I think that the improvements make the game a little bit more enjoyable on the whole. So, I guess that's kind of, your mileage may vary, but personally, I feel like even after playing a marathon of the game, I could have kept going. Speedball, speed and shot, speed up. Okay, cool enough. There's actually a few new needles as well. There's one that actually comes in... it's sort of like a silver, and it gives you a damage and speed up, so I thought that might have been what that was. So we've got the Pact, damage and tears up. I'm running a super heavy damage run right now. This is actually, I'm poised to do some absolute destruction, but I also could get absolutely destroyed just the same. Since this is the first run, it actually will stop at the first boss, so you know, it's actually possible I might be able to finish this run fairly quickly, especially if I rush. But that is not a thing that I tend to do when I play Isaac. Just trying to think if there's any other major points that I wanted to touch on, because there's so much to this game. It is absolutely in-depth and freaking massive. I feel like in order to have, like, a good opinion that really takes into account for everything that that's going on in this game, you probably need, like, 100 hours in it, which seems a little insane to say, but at the same time, like, if you know Isaac, that's just kind of how it works. This game's got legs, man, and it's freaking $15. So, it's not like you're even paying 60 bucks for this, but you will, well, provided you enjoy the concept behind it, you will play this a lot to see most of what's on offer. Alright, we've already found the boss room. I might just go rush the item room, but I don't even have any keys, so maybe not. I don't know. We should just go kill the boss and see what we get out of it. It'll probably be another damage up, just to show you guys that this run is getting absolutely crazy. Mega Fatty, this is a new boss. Kind of glad that we got him, I guess. Let's hope that I don't get wrecked here, though. Oh, man, this damage is crazy good. And if I can get him to sit on the creep as well, I'll be doing kind of like double the normal damage. This guy's got a ton of HP, and kind of a cool attack. You can actually see sort of like Monstro style, where he vomits up all of that stuff up into the air. Well, vomits all that vomit, I should say, up into the air. And you can actually track the shadows to see where it's going to land, and it's got a much higher arc than Monstro's blood vomit, so, you know, it changes that a little bit. We unlocked Little Chubby, and we got the Spelunker Boy achievement there. So, I actually just got through a floor without taking any damage, I suppose. I think that's what that means anyway. So that was Blood Clot, which is damage and range up. Oh my god, I think I've actually got almost full damage, as well as another deal with the devil here. Okay, this is actually a great deal with the devil, because I don't actually have to give anything to him. Alright, Spirit Heart, I will take you. Watch out for troll bombs. Oh, and we've got Goat Head. He accepts your offering, and a Tears Up. Holy crap, this game wants me to win. Real fierce. So the Goat Head, I don't know if I should spoil this. Just skip ahead 20 seconds if you don't want that spoiled for you. It should give you... deal with the devil room every time you have it, so that way you don't have to really worry about taking damage on the boss. I really should clear this floor, though, just to make sure that I can get into the item room. I'd feel like such a jerk if I didn't at least give this run due diligence, just for the sake of trying to push through this episode and not have it run super long. Hopefully, if you guys are somewhat interested in Isaac, you would want to at least stick around and watch this run anyway, because it is really going well. And I feel like... maybe this is just weird luck, and it probably is, and I'm sure you guys in the comments can attest if this is otherwise, but I feel like my first run on a save file has been overwhelmingly positive every time I've done it. We unlocked the left hand. That was easy. So that was another boss that was supposed to be quite secretive, although I ran into it already several times, so I'm not quite sure why. Maybe I'm having fantastic luck here as well. Watch out for the wall turrets. Another new enemy type. Let's go into the curse room. Since we've got such great luck. Ah, troll bomb. Let's push it away with tears. That way we don't get hit. Pro strats, pro strats. That's what I'm all about, guys. I'm going to get real good at Isaac, and I will have all of the pro strats for you someday. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to be one of those guys that, like, I want to get into the game enough that most runs I win. I would feel real happy about that. And so far, what's happened to me is I have not been that guy. But that's okay. It's going to take a while. You know, despite playing a lot of Isaac, I still have a lot of stuff I need to learn and get better at, as well as just being better at dodges. That was just a red heart. Okay. Still got spike rooms there. I've noticed one thing that's maybe a little bit on the negative side is, oh, that's a new item. I'm going to have to take that. Boss trap rooms, which we're about to do one of right now, tend not to have great items in them, so this is a great thing to, toxic splash damage. Holy butts, this is such a good run. Boss trap rooms tended not to have great items in them. I've found a lot that are just like a silver chest or like a golden chest with a couple of keys in it or something like that, which is like a little bit frustrating because you have to do quite a bit to get through one of these generally. And to have that not really be very rewarding, well, I guess it's just bad luck, but I don't know. It seemed like more times than made sense I was getting bad draws on them. Feel free to comment otherwise if you feel that's the case. I'm just kind of curious of getting the consensus here. Alright, so we actually got even another augmentation to our tiers. And what else is going on this floor? I've got one bomb I could try and bust open the secret room. It's either going to be to the right down, or to the left down, or to the next to the boss room there. This is 3 options. Oh man, I'm going to maybe not get into the secret room. I guess I could use the telepills. Let's just bust our bomb out here just in case. And we found it. That's real lucky. Oh my god, another new item. I don't know what that is. I've never even seen that before, so that's 2 in a row. Black Lotus, HP up times 3. Seriously? HP up times 3? It only gave me 1, though. And then, like, something... I think I got a Spirit Heart, and... Did I get that Black Heart? I don't even know. I don't know what's happening right now. But I'm into it. So, no keys means nothing else can be done here unless I can just use my telepills, which I did. That takes me to the Cursed Room. Bad move. That's not going to benefit us in any positive way. Okay, let's make the trek one more time and finish out this area. I actually have enough health that I should be able to finish this run out, no problem. Hopefully, unless some terrible fate befalls me. You know, this game is very unpredictable. There's a chance that it may happen, and there's nothing else going on in the Devil Room. Keep it going, keep it going. Man, this should be the first episode of my Let's Play, shouldn't it? I wish that my Let's Play could start out on such good terms, but I thought it was going to be one of the ones that shot the little balls instead, but it was a laser dude. Those can get you real fast. 2 silver chests. Well, I'd like the keys. I'll probably come back for that, provided I don't find one an easier way. I am starting to min-max to the extent that I want to rush down this boss room, if possible, just because I want to keep going. I want to finish this run out fast. So we've got another new enemy type in this room. These guys will only die if you kill all of the non-skeleton. So those can actually be a real problem, because there's actually some big rooms where you'll be flooded with those skeleton men, and they'll actually get in your way and bounce around in ways that can be really inconvenient. Oh my god, I don't like the placement of these rocks and skulls and all this junk. Alright, get out of here. Drop your swirlies on me. Okay, we got a key. We can at least get in the item room. This is exactly the room I was talking about a second ago. This feels like a necropolis type room, doesn't it? All this skeleton stuff everywhere. Oh, another key and a bomb. Perfect. I'm going to go to the left, and this room should be pretty easy. I think I should be able to get this guy from up here without him getting too rough. That's actually like level 3 Dingle, who splits into 2 more Dingles. These guys have a terrible rushdown behavior that they don't really telegraph it very long in advance, so you have to be pretty ready for that before it happens. A lot of times, like, there's actually a boss of Dingle as well, and he'll kind of just get in your face and do a lot of damage to you before you can really see what's up. Alright, so let's go, I guess, to the right, because we don't have much else here. There's just a 1-tile room, and we'll go over to the right again. I figured that there would be branching paths coming off of that one. Not the case. These guys also tend to break down into multiple parts. You'll see they have a few attacks, actually. They can leap in the air, they can shoot blood out of their neck stumps, they can shoot bullet swarms around. There's all kinds of things that you gotta watch out for with those. And of course, still being careful to shoot all the fire if possible. Get these melty face guys. You guys have seen a ton of new enemies just from this particular run. We've got the Kubones that shoot damaging bones, but when they have melty faces, they kind of walk around more like zombies, so... Or Zambros, I guess. only minus the exposed brain. Alright, there's our item room. We've got another skeleton situation going on. Take care of these flies. He dies, and we've got another new item. Virgo, you feel refreshed and protected. I believe what this does is it gives me some kind of shield at some point. Alright, now we actually have proper Zombros, as well as some Pajama Man jumpers. Let's just take these guys out so they don't get in my way. You'll notice there's also rocks there with bombs embedded in them. You could probably figure out what those do. They just act as a bomb embedded in a rock. So if I blow it up, they'll continue to chain if necessary. And there's our boss room. So I'm going to probably go right for that after this. As long as I don't take too much more damage. Otherwise I might have to go in the other direction and try and get some of that other stuff. And we've got one more room that I might want to key for. So let's fight Monstro 2 and do our best not to get wrecked here. I do have such high damage that this boss should be fairly trivial, provided I don't do anything really stupid, which could happen. It could definitely happen, and I'd love to see... Does he get poisoned at all by this toxic move? Oh, the guy had a cross shot, got me there as I was moving around. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hustle, hustle, hustle! I don't want to languish, I don't want to linger too long in any of these rooms, just because the longer I wait on a boss, the higher my chance of damage is going to get. We got a lot of bullets there. Laser, yeah, just fire your laser all you want. I'm totally cool with that. Fire your laser again. You're dead. What do you drop for me, Monstro? Oh, it's Cat of Nine Tails. I've heard this is a really good move. Shot speed and damage up. I think we should be maxed out now on damage. Oh my god, this is so good. We are. And we've got another devil room with 3 red chests in it. Give me some spirit hearts, devil. Let's do this. Okay, that's actually a bunch of spider familiars. Since they have blue glowy lights on, that means they're going to follow you around. You might also notice, since this game has an entirely new engine, we can have tons of familiars following us around. We can have tons of satellites. We could have tons of helpers, allies, all kinds of stuff. And the rooms can get absolutely filled to the brim with stuff. So that's one thing that I think is an absolute objective improvement on this. The engine works so much better. And the only crashes that I've really seen... Oh, we had a wall master there. I didn't even notice that when it laughs, Mom's hand can drop down and pull you out of that room. I got too worried about the dingles. I wasn't looking for shadows. There we go. Thankfully, they're real easy to kill. Hopefully, there's just the one. Nope, we got 2 of them. Alright, so I have super high damage. It wasn't a big deal. Let's go up here. You can probably tell, hopefully through the tone of my voice, that I'm real hyped to play this game. Like, I've been waiting for this for such a long time, and it was kind of surreal to actually be able to just jump into the game, and even after playing 13 hours of it, just solidly in a row, I still feel like it hasn't even quite happened yet. It's sort of like if you're really, really excited as a little kid waiting for Christmas to happen, and then you finally get that present that you've wanted for so long, but you've had this, like, aching desire for it. You have what you want, but it's like the feeling of the desire still hasn't quite dissipated because you're like in shock. You're not ready to stop having that feeling. That's kind of where I'm at with Rebirth right now. The potential for gameplay in this is such a long-term tale that I could probably still be in shock for another week or 2 before I even let this really sink in. So, you know, do with that information as you will. But if your concern is whether or not it's worth $15, like, that's not even a factor. If you have any interest at all in this concept of gameplay, like, this is the game for you. The recommendation does not really get any higher than that. 10 out of 10. I'm also thinking, what else is there? There was some kind of synergy. Well, you know, I guess that's another thing I should talk about. In terms of huge additions to the game, a lot of items have new synergies now. Big synergies, too, like Brimstone and Mom's Knife, which I actually got on one of my runs yesterday. And I don't want to spoil for you necessarily what it does, but it's really cool. And I think they really tried to find as many of those really popular items that synergize together in weird ways and make them as cool and interesting to look at as possible, and effective generally, too. So you might find yourself in some sort of emergent positions running into items that you might not expect to have desirable results together, really turning into like a new type of gameplay or a new type of run. There's actually even a practical use for notched axe now, so like, if you had any doubts, like, that is one of the items that had the least chance of being useful, because what does it do? It breaks rocks. Well, there's actually a way you can use that now, and have it actually be really helpful to your run. There's also some pretty weird ways you can cheese the game, too. I'm not real happy with... Oh my god, I walked on the creep again. I'm not real happy with the amount of health that I have right now. Okay, we've got another... This is Ares ramming speed. Does this mean if I run fast enough, I can, like, run into dudes and hurt them? Pretty sweet-ass horns, though. I don't know what's going on. Okay, fire room. I need spirit hearts. Give me spirit hearts. I don't know if I can survive the mom fight with just this, you know, one hit, essentially. Because if I get stomped, that's like a whole heart, isn't it? Not excited about what's happening to this run. I don't want it to end so soon. Let's open it. Alright, that's not really what I wanted, but I got a key out of it again, so that's okay. Oh, look at all this stuff over here. Well, I have 2 bombs. That's not super helpful. I guess I could see if that card is going to be something useful. Since I get a key and a bomb back anyway, might as well. Oh, you know what? I should freaking go in the shop. Why don't I... It's a key and a battery. There's the donation machine, by the way, in case you're wondering. I could just pop coins into that until it breaks. Doing that will basically just allow me to get upgrades to the shop, like I said. It only allows you so many per run, though, so you can't actually just spam it. If you get, like, $1 or something, you can just put 99 cents into it and be done with it. New enemy. These guys go invisible, and they could also be a real problem for me. Thankfully, my damage and my rate of fire is so high that it actually didn't get me killed. Pretty happy about that whole thing. Oh, I need spirit hearts, so... I mean, I have a death card. That's good. That might help me out a little bit, but still, I don't trust myself on this fight well enough. Also, I can't get to that. Oh, man, what do I do? I could go to the curse room. That's going to guarantee more damage, but there are hearts around, so maybe I should, just in case something over there happens to give me something real good. I don't even have a spacebar item after all of this run. Wait, what's this? That's probably a library, right? I should go in here since I have so much money. Oh, it's 4 tarot cards. We got the lovers. Alright. That's not going to give me anything else that's really helpful, but I'll drop them down here. We got the devil. Judgment. Oh, yeah, give me a judgment. This guy might give me an HP up. That's exactly what I need. Give me an HP up, man. I dropped another card. Please give me an HP up, man. I need this so bad. I want to succeed for all my viewers. Oh, portable slot. That's the worst. Empress. Judgment. We got another judgment. Alright, pop the judgment. Round 2, fight. I don't have a D6 either, so it's not like I can re-roll that portable slot machine. I wish I did. My goal number 1 for this game is to get to the D6. Oh, I got it. Alright, we've got 3 hits now. And High Priestess, Empress. Another really positive improvement they made to this game is the ability to pick up things and keep walking. So you don't have to stop and do the freaking Zelda hold the thing above your head thing for a while. That always was annoying to me. Well, you know what? Maybe the slot machine can give me... Oh no, I used the wrong button. Oh, I'm the worst. I meant to hit left trigger, but I hit right bumper instead. Alright, let's just play the portable slot for a while. See if I can get a spirit heart out of this. I don't even know if that's possible, but maybe there's a blood bank. Oh, we got another dime. Maybe we can break the game somehow. Look at all these red hearts that I can't use at all. What's this? Empress. High Priestess. I don't know which one I should take. Oh, Troll Bomb wants to mess my day up. If this wasn't a one-off run, I would probably have spent a bunch of money on the donation machine, but since it's not, I'm not gonna. I don't know what the correct move is to make here, and if I end up throwing the run, my apologies in advance. Another Troll Bomb. Stay away. Just gonna spend all my money, I guess. You're gonna throw me no bones, it looks like. Make no bones about it, portable slot. Not OP. Oh, you gave me 2 pennies that time and another key. I mean, if I was looking for those kind of items, I guess I'd be happy. Devil card. I don't know what to do about this whole thing. Well, I've got enough red hearts that I should go in here. Go hit the curse room. I could also try the boss trap room, but I don't know if I really want to. Curse room has... What? Devil deal? Oh, it's got Spirit of the Night. Oh, this is a tough one, guys. I mean, I'm gonna die if I take that, for sure. I might not die if I don't take it, and since the run ends after this, you get the idea. Oh, and it drops me off back here. That's good. That was a situation where, like, obviously that was not the correct move to make, but since we have a sort of a specialized run, I'm not about to really mess with it. Also, I don't remember what the devil does. Does this take you to the devil room? That's a Joker, right? Oh, curse my terrible memory. I know or is it the Empress takes you to the boss? The High Priestess stomps? I don't remember what happens with what of these. They're all good cards. I'm not disputing that. But which one I should take is the problem that I don't know the answer to. This is where if I was on Twitch right now, I'd be like, hey, Twitch chat, hook me up. But I'm not. Let's fight Mom. Let's try not to throw here. Let's try not to stand in the center for too long either. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe this boss fight is actually pretty possible. I'm going to wait for the right moment here. Use that... What? It stomped me? Was there no better target than me, so I just ended up taking damage myself? Oh, I walked right into that. Mom's halfway dead already, though. If I throw this run, though, you guys have a great seed to not throw for your first go. Alright, go, 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 go. LSU's guy, don't get hit, don't get hit. We're one hit away from having one hit left. We can do this, we can do this. I can't believe how crazy I'm, like, getting hyped over fighting Mom again. What a great feeling that is, to have played this game for so long and get hyped about the first boss fight of, like, 100 that are yet to come. We did it.
Bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
How freaking cool was that little ending sequence? I love that. That freaking animation was so nice. Alright, so we did it. We beat the first run. I'm real happy with how that turned out. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it actually ended up being, but my damage was so high that it actually just happened. I hope you guys go buy The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I don't have any, personal stake in the matter, but I think it's a really fantastic game. I think you could do a lot worse if you're looking for something for 15 bucks. You could do, well, almost anything would probably be a worse decision in my opinion. I'm looking forward to playing a lot more of this game. I unlocked a bunch of stuff there at the end. The horsemen are loose. Oh no. Ball of bandages. We've got the bandage girl and the meat boy version now, I guess, as alternatives. I can't even talk. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know if you want to watch a Let's Play of this game, because there could be a lot more where this came from. Like 1,000 episodes more where this came from. I have a friend who's played a little bit of this game who can probably vouch for that. There's probably 1,000 episodes to come from this. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. As always, make sure you leave a like. Helps me out a whole bunch. Be sure to come back again tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. I look forward to bringing you a ton more. And I hope you have a fantastic night. I will talk to you all later.